Hi, my name is Carlina, and this is a flow for Thunderbolt Power Yoga that will teach you how to get upside down in a number of ways, including headstand and the basics of a handstand. Hope you enjoy.
In order to get started today, you're going to need 2 blocks and a strap. And you're going to lay on your back with your blocks underneath the outside of your knees in Supta Baddha Konasana. So the outside of your knees, I just want them to be grazing the blocks that you have. So for some of you, you'll need more support. That's fine. You can chalk it up as much as you need to. But if you need to get some more openness in your groin, this is a great pose to help you with that. And start to feel your inner thighs and feel the release of the fascia at your hips where it kind of strings your muscles there. The point in life is to know what's enough. With the happiness held in 1 square inch of your heart, you can feel the whole space between heaven and earth. In other words, so much of life and experiencing the fullness of life is chipping away what is unnecessary, letting go of what doesn't serve you or what only serves you temporarily, to land in that space of the fullness of experience. It's more about experiencing than possessing. And where are you experiencing this pose right now? Can you breathe in deeper into that area and let that experience inform the rest of your body? Maybe it's your groin. Or maybe the pressure foot to foot is what really resonates with you in this particular moment. Maybe you feel it in your back body, the pressure between your weight and the ground. Wherever it is really of no particular importance. It's just how deeply can you soak it in. As if there was nothing in the way of your experience, no past experiences to prejudice you against this particular moment. Can you just take it all in as raw and in this moment as you can be? With your hands wherever you need them, fill to your absolute limit. Hold it in. Open your mouth, sigh out. Bring your hands together at your heart. Then move your thumbs to third eye center. Connect with yourself in this moment. 1 cleansing breath here. Breathe in. Open up. Rest your palms face up on your inner thighs. 1 round of Om. Inhale. Close your knees with the help of your hands. And then draw yourself into wind relieving pose. Hug your knees in tight to your chest area. Hug your forehead into your knees. And give yourself a little side to side rock and roll action first, then a little north and south up and down your spine. Make your way up and through tabletop position into downward facing dog. Once you land, rev up your Ujjayi breath. Send the fire in your belly into your hips. With your hips above your heart and above your head, let the crown of your head hang down toward the ground more. And for some of you, it will actually hang and it will be an easy sensation. And if that's not your experience, then tuck your chin more into your chest. Good. Find activation and integration in this pose. Breathe in. Ujjayi. Good. Exhale. In through your nose and out through your nose. Good breathing. Look forward. Fill. Make your way up to ragdoll at the top of your mat. Forward fold. Forward fold. Bend your knees. Let your upper body rest on the top of your thighs. And grab your elbows. Sway a little side to side. Get into your side body. And again, feel your hips in space. With your hips above your heart and your head, let the crown of your head hang more loosely, that place where connection happens, connection to the infinite. Breathe in. At center, let your arms go. Press through your feet, rise up to stand slowly. Lift your arms up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand pose. Inhale, step your feet together at the top of your mat. Press through all four corners of your feet. Stack the crown of your head over your center over your hips. Breathe in, uplift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Curl your gaze in at the end. Let your head hang easy. Flat back, look forward, fill up. Squeeze your outer hip muscles into bone. Breathe in. On your exhale, tilt your pelvis, the tips of your hips a little more toward the ground. Bend your knees, flat back. Inhale, good. Plant your hands down to the earth, step into plank pose. Plank pose, grab your block, one of them, stick it between your inner thighs. The space that was previously open, hug it in now. Feel more access to the area around your hips. Imagine a glowing orange orb surrounding your hips. You're the axis through the center of it, Lift your heart up more. Shine the crown of your head more forward. Feel the connection between the center of your head and the center of your pelvis, right where your block is pressing. Imagine that you're cutting energy through the center of your block. Squeeze in with your inner thighs. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Cobra pose with your block. Press your block down into the ground. Lift your heart away from the earth. Inhale. Stay at the top. Keep your block pressing downward. Roll your shoulders down your spine more. Cobra pose. Breathe in. Press through the triad of your hand. Exhale, lower down. And press through child's pose into downward facing dog. Squeeze your block with your inner thighs. This is your opportunity to create even more sensation. When the flow is simple, can you be in the fullness of experience? Can you cultivate even more connection with yourself and thus more experience even in simplicity? Notice where you are in your body, where you are in your mind right now. And what can you let go of? Where are you holding too much energy? Can you use your breath to a greater impact? Yes, your breath. Inhale. Exhale, hold it out. Breathe in. Good Ujjayi breath. And through your nose, exhale. Look forward. Make your way up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Squeeze your block. Let it inform your hip muscles. Deepen the experience at the crease of your hips. Bend your knees and see if you can bring your belly to touch your thighs even more. And then what's up with the crown of your head? Can you let it be even more toward the ground? Lengthen your neck. Breathe into the length of your neck. Press through your feet. Stand all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Pull in through your center. Fold forward. Flat back with the squeeze on your block. Look forward. Plant your hands. Step back plank pose. Lift your upper back up toward the ceiling. Breathe in. Keep the squeeze on your block. Lower to chaturanga and hold it. Do you lose the squeeze of your block? Squeeze it in tighter. Roll into upward facing dog over your toes. Exhale through and up to downward facing dog. Good breath. What if deepening your experience simply meant using your breath and finding the control to put your breath where you need it? Where do you need to wake up? We think of waking up as a mental thing, sure, but what if your body's also asleep while your mind is awake? Wake up the places that need your breath. Breathe in, hold it in. Breathe out, ujjayi. Rise to your toes, look forward. Put a squeeze on your block and hop with straight legs to the top of your mat. Lift halfway, inhale. And forward fold, exhale. Inhale, stand all the way up, Urdhva Hasta. Uttanasana, forward fold, breathe out. Flat back, look forward. Plant your hands, step or hop back through Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in, upward facing. Beautiful, Jim. Back to downward facing dog. Just like you're squeezing your inner thighs in around your block, can you squeeze your inner arms in? Feel how your outer arms have to work in synchronicity with your inner arms. And keep pressing through the triad of your hand. Maybe even lift up your middle, ring, and pinky fingers so that you know just how hard you're using the place where you really get grounded, where Hasta Bandha lives, your hand lock. Good. Look forward. Inhale. Hop on up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Flat back. Inhale. Open up your heart space. Fold over your legs. Empty out your belly. Chair pose. Squeeze your block. Sit it low. Feel the alignment between the crown of your head and the center of your hips. Right now, you're upright. The world is as it is as you move through on a daily basis. No tricks, just experience. All right? How aware are you of the connection between your head and your body, your head and your hips? Feel the alignment between the roof of your mouth and your belly button, and one step further between the crown of your head and the bottom of your seat. Breathe in, stretch apart even more. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Lift halfway, inhale. Plant your hands to the ground, hop back, chaturanga. Make sure you're landing with bent elbows if you're hopping. Flow from upward facing dog back to downward facing dog. And yeah, you can remove your block now. Sigh of relief. One cleansing breath. Breathe in. Open up. Good. Right side, warrior one. Step forward. Take your feet off of a tightrope. Make some space, east to west. Let your back foot pivot more forward so that your toes are, instead of pointing out to the side, pointing more front ways. And then again, sometimes in order for that to really take grounding, you have to make more space side to side. Rotate the inside of your left thigh towards the wall behind you more, and dip the front of your hip more toward the wall in front of you. Grow your chest out of your hips, and grow your head and neck out of your torso, and zip up your abs more. Exhale. Breathe in, rotate your right thigh flesh more up to the ceiling. And simmer in your breath. Sync up your exhale, linger. Breathe in. Chaturanga is your flow. As you lower through chaturanga, think of the alignment between your head and your torso. Keep it connected. Inhale for upward facing, and then exhale for downward facing. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Warrior one. Find awareness and experience the solid nature of your footing. And if it doesn't feel solid, heel toe your left foot more to the left. More to the left. Yeah, that way. Yeah, make sure your left foot, toes, and heel are in line with one another. And then sit deep into your left leg. Feel the squareness of your hips and use your inner thigh muscles, kick them longer. The more you kick and feel that experience of pressing down through your right foot, the longer you'll get through your inseam of your right leg. And find a comfortable place for your arms to be straight. Maybe it's not straight up and down. Maybe it's more out in front of you. That's fine. Just use your triceps more. Breathe in. Linger in your exhale. Inhale. Chaturanga. Into upward facing. Open your heart with space in your throat. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Drop to your forearms. Walk your toes towards your elbows. Stack your hips as high over your shoulders as you can. Hold and breathe. Notice if your elbows want to slip away from one another, hug them in toward each other more. You can put your gaze wherever appeals to you right now. Just feel the line between the crown of your head and your hips as much as possible. Breathe in. Breathe out. Where are you clinging in your body? Can you relax your hands, Peggy? Inhale. Exhale, walk your toes back. As you walk it back, downward facing dog. Look forward, rise to your toes. Hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Flat back, inhale. Fold over your legs, chair pose. Sit your butt back. Align your head and your hips. Inhale. Now it's easy again, right? Exhale, sit deeper. Breathe in. Sit deeper. Inhale. Sit all the way down, boat pose. Boat pose. Lift your legs up. Press your heart up to the ceiling more. Ah, that was beautiful, Christy. Good. And notice if you have your head and your hips in a line here. All right, that's all you need. You don't need to have straight legs. You just need to have a nice straight back and a nice line, as if I could stick a pole through the center of your head and it would be at a diagonal grounded into earth. Good. Everybody go ahead and grab with your cupping hands behind your thighs. Roll that flesh from the inside to the outside. Use that rolling action, to pull your chest through and open more. And then wherever you have to have your legs bent to, have them bent. Just get this part of your leg nice and activated, your thigh, the back of it. Broaden your chest more, Claire. Breathe in. Now push your hands straight forward like robot arms. Keep that alignment. Good. Fill all the way up slowly. Hold it in. Exhale, low boat. Curl your shoulders in and look at your navel. Point your toes like a ballerina or floint. Good. Come back up. Broaden your chest at the top. Low boat. Ujjayi breath. Up, inhale. Low bow, exhale. Inhale, come up, cross your ankles. Exhale, roll over your ankles, downward facing dog. Right side warrior one, step forward. Inhale, warrior one. Warrior two, open it up. Align the heel of your right foot and your left arch. So even more, Cassie. Even more. There you go. Good. In this pose, let your back toes be parallel to the back edge of your mat. Then hug in your feet in towards each other, like you're trying to keep your feet from slipping apart on ice skates. Feel your inner thighs. Pull energy up into your hips. Press into your feet more, draw more energy into your hips. Breathe in. Sit deeper, rotate your right inner thigh up to the ceiling more. And keep your right inner thigh pushing against your knee. Push your knee more to the right. See your big toe in front of your right knee. Good. Peaceful warrior, tip back, stay. Firm up your exhale. Breathe into your right ribs. Chaturanga, frame your right foot. Upward facing dog is your inhale. Downward facing dog is your exhale. Left side warrior one, step forward, rise up. Warrior two, open. Yeah. Be very aware in the experience of alignment between your feet. Once you get your feet in the right position, it's a game of pushing your hips toward Ganesh more. Look more forward over your left fingers. And see what you can see when you pull your shoulders together on your spine and puff up your sternum. Proud in your warrior stance, sit deeper, but lift your chest up more. Oh, yeah. Linger in your next exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Peaceful warrior, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog is your breath in. Downward facing dog is your breath out. Drop to your forearms. Align your hips over your shoulders as much as possible. So walk your toes in. This time, look 3 inches in front of your fingertips. And breathe. And keep the activity of your transverse abdominis. You're going to feel some sensation. And see how much experience you can sensate in your low belly now. Does it feel different than normal? That's because you're working your transverse abdominis. That's your deep abs. Walk your toes back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale. Right side warrior one, step forward. Open to warrior two. Tip back into peaceful warrior. And straighten your right leg for radiant triangle. Push your hips toward the hallway. Yeah, so feel the extra opening when you actually push forward through your hips. Now keep that broadness across your hip bones. Lean forward into triangle pose. Deepen the crease at your right hip. Kick more weight into your left foot, a lot more. Like you could push your foot down through the bamboo floor. Rotate your right shoulder away from your ear. Push your right hip underneath you more. If there's no space to do that, then lift your right hand up to a slightly shallower place on your leg. Press your right hand into the outside of your right leg. Rotate, right? Press your right hand. Roll your right shoulder back. Lean your left shoulder back over your right. Push your hips forward. Breathe in. Bend your right knee, side angle. Swoop your left arm forward to the front of the house. Good. Then notice if you're bearing weight down into your right arm. Press through your elbow, but lift your side body away from the top of your thigh. Use that space. Use that space to push your right hip underneath you more, your right butt more toward the hallway. Then notice that when you push your butt, does your knee go? Open it back up. Torque. Sensation. Torque creates a lot of sensation. Can you feel more in this pose? Spiral your right inner thigh open. Breathe in. Lift up to warrior two on your exhale. Peaceful warrior is your breath in, and chaturanga is your exit. Flow. Flow from upward facing dog, and take it back to downward facing dog. Left side warrior one, step forward, rise to stand. Open up to warrior two, straight into peaceful warrior, tip back, inhale. Radiant triangle. Push your left hip toward Ganesh. Stabilize through your right leg more. Hug your inner thigh up into bone. Lean into Trikonasana, triangle pose. You know those pops. You know what that means? It means that you're not using your butt enough. Squeeze your left side booty more. Good. With the support of your left side obliques, invite your left shoulder blade back to your spine. With your shoulders both together on your spine, you can lean your upper body back as much as feels good. That's beautiful, Dan Foley. Breathe in. Breathe out. Make sure your abs are nice and tight. Stretch your right outer hip more. Inhale. Side angle. Bend your left knee. Now, if we're talking about outer hip stretches, this one can really do a doozy on your outer hip. But you got to make the space to push your left hip underneath you more, toward Ganesh. Rotate your right hip over your left hip without letting your left knee dip into center. Peel. Lean your butt into me more on the left side there. Peel your right side over your left side. That skin's going to stretch. Breathe into the stretch. Breathe into it. Stay on your exhale. Slow your breath down. Inhale. Warrior two, lift up. Tip back, peaceful. Inhale. Cartwheel down to the earth. Chaturanga Dandasana. Flow from upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Drop to your forearms. Walk your toes in toward your elbows. Lift your right leg up and back behind you and stay there. Notice where your toes are pointing. Make your pinky toe point straight down to the ground. Good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super high up. You can lift it higher and pop your left toes in more, and you might get it a little bit higher up. That's fine. Try not to hop up just yet. You're just building strength and awareness. Although, Lori, that was lovely. All right, breathe in. Kick longer through the heel of your right leg. Exhale, switch out your legs. And with as much awareness of where your hips are in space as possible. Keep them up over your shoulders. And as much awareness of your toes as possible. That's an indication that your hip is neutral in its socket. Put your left foot down, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Land, exhale. Right side warrior one, step forward. Inhale up. Warrior two, spin open. Peace, tip it back. Straighten on your radiant. Lean forward, triangle pose. Breathe in. Breathe out, shift your gaze in front of your right foot. Inhale, lean a bend into your right knee. Half moon, exhale to fly forward. As you get to where you're going, breathe in for expansion. Breathe out, refine, bend deeper into your right knee. And breathe in, Nancy. Move your left toes. Breathe in, move your left toes more toward the hallway. More toward the hallway. That would be to your left. Inhale. Land back, warrior two, exhale. Peaceful warrior, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing dog, fill up. Empty out, downward facing dog. Left side, warrior 1, step forward. Open to warrior 2, breathe out. Peaceful is your inhale. Straighten your left leg. Rock forward, Trikonasana is your in-breath. Stack open. Look up. Exhale, look down. Prepare. Breathe in, bend into your left knee. Breathe out, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Just as all your other poses, feel and experience what it is to stack and spiral your hip bones apart from each other. Your hips, they carry a lot of experience. And can you let go of past experience? Experience this particular moment, this pose, in the rawness as if it was your first time. Inhale. Land back on your exhale, warrior 2. Peaceful warrior, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Flow from upward facing dog, back to downward facing dog. Drop on down to your knees, grab your strap. You want your lasso function of your strap. You're going to put it around your forearms. No, around your biceps. You're going to put it around your biceps. So stick your arms through. You want about shoulder width distance for your strap, no more. So get it tight enough that you don't feel compressed, but when you push out, you're not going anywhere. Probably mid bicep. Or anywhere from just above your elbow to mid bicep. All right? Then go ahead and grab one of your blocks and stick it between your forefinger and thumb. If your hands are wider than your block because your stature is wider naturally, no big deal. Your block is still going to be a focal point for you, okay? So you don't actually, if this puts you too narrow, if hugging in like this with your forefinger and thumb into your block puts you too narrow for your shoulders, don't do that. But do have your block sort of situated in the middle and have it out in front of you to that 3 inches in front of your fingertip area. You're going to look at the edge of your block, pop onto your forearms, lift your hips up, and walk your toes in as far as you can. All right, you can lift one leg up. And you can stay in this position of strength. If it's hard for you to keep your gaze at your block, then maybe stay here. You can try to pop up into a can opener shape by lifting a little bit, pendulum your right leg up and down a little bit, and pull your left heel into your butt, forearm stand. I'm going to give you a couple of tries on this side. Press like you mean it through your elbows. And then I'll give you another couple of tries on the other side. Feel your hips stack over your shoulders. If you're kicking at all, beautiful Lori, you want to make sure that you're only kicking enough to stack your hips over your shoulders. If you're trying to stack your legs over your shoulders, you'll tip over. Maria, look more forward. Yeah, there you go. I'll show you. The can opener shape is a little different, and it is what I recommend for beginners because it gives you a little bit more of an ability to counterbalance. So you'll be in this shape. The pressure through my elbows is the same. You'll pop up. You'll walk your toes in as much as possible. Some people, Laura, you pop up real quick. I want you to compare how well Laura's hips stack. Look, they're like almost in a vertical line over her shoulders. Look at mine. Woefully inadequate. But I've got enough of an awareness because I've experienced it enough times of what it feels to get my butt up over my shoulders that I've figured it out. So you'll lift up one leg. You'll use your other leg. This is the pendulum. This is the pop. And then you just pull your heel into your butt and look forward. Forward is where you'll stick it. Eventually, you can match your legs. No problem to match once you've got the balance point. You just find your inner thighs. So go ahead and try that, and we're going to do something different in a moment. But you got to put your gaze forward. Yeah, like at the front edge of your block. And have your fingers framing, because that will help you hug in. Beautiful. I got you, Maria. Come on up. Then pull this knee into your chest instead of matching. Push your chest up. Pull your knee down. There you go. So there's an equal and opposite action that is what keeps you up. If you haven't tried the other leg, try it. Notice that I took a very specific shape, and I was telling Maria to get into that shape. When you pull your knee into your body down to the ground, that stretches you one way. When you kick your leg up, it stretches you the opposite way, and that dynamic tension in your body is what's going to keep you balanced. Good, Jim. Look more forward. If you start to get both legs up and you don't have control, then you'll go over. So you want to keep the one leg down so that it's very easy to go right back down if you need to. I'm here. Come up. Now you're going to try it in Sirsasana. So this is the one where you interlace your fingers like this, and your head is down. You'll put the crown of your head down, and what I want you to do, instead of having your block between your hands, I want you to stick your block between your thighs. Walk your heels in as much as possible. Laura, will you demo this for me? You're going to walk your toes in as much toward your elbows as possible, and then you will just lift one foot up to your butt, and then maybe the other foot will go up to your butt. You can pop a little bit, squeeze your block, and grow it up a little bit at a time. Cool. So you see that the hop to get her hips over her shoulders was very minimal. It's the squeeze on your block that does the trick. The squeeze on your block that does the trick, and the awareness of where your hips are in space. Really push your head into your hands. You can walk one leg in, walk in as close as you can, and then just pull one heel in to your butt, and then the other. Good. And then once you're up, press your wrists down. Press your elbows down. Yep, come on up the rest of the way. You can straighten. Put a squeeze on your block. Good. You can just hold static. You do not have to go all the way upright. You can ditch the strap if it's getting in the way. And come on down. Nice and slow. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up and back behind you. Breathe in. Pull your knee into your nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, three-legged dog. And step through crescent lunge. Rise to stand. And the experience of your back leg here is eventually going to play into you going upside down. So if there's a bend in your back knee at all, see if you can use your muscles to get rid of it. If your left pinky toe is at a diagonal at all, see if you can find the rotation through the ball of your foot to get it pointing straight forward. And when you get that little bit of extra rotation, it might be that you go back to having a little bend in your knee. Eventually, you'll get rid of it through stretch and muscle at the same time. Make sure your front knee stacks up over your ankle, your toe. Keep the rotation of your right inner thigh up to the ceiling. Good. Lift the apex of your pelvis up an inch, but bend into your right knee more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And pull your hands into your heart. Twist your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Lean your left shoulder as if there's a wall behind you to lean into. So feel that pressure back. Look more precisely over your right armpit, down toward your right hip crease. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look down. Twisted chair. Step your left foot forward. Chair pose, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Heel toe your feet. Hip width distance, grab your big toes. Padangusthasana. Bend your knees. Curl your gaze up and in you. And pull your elbows into the outside of your legs and back. That's nice. Fill up. Empty out more. Curl in tighter. Feel your hips over the crown of your head. It's an inversion. Inhale. Exhale, release. Heel toe your feet together. Chair pose, sit low. Inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Half lift, breathe in. Plant your hands, lift to your toes, crow pose. Rock your weight forward, drop your chest down. Puff your upper back up with your inhale. Hug your inner thighs in tighter, exhale. Gaze forward, breathe in. Chaturanga, hop back. Upward facing dog, fill. Downward facing, empty out. Three-legged dog on the left side, lift up. Cheetah, pull in your knee into your nose. Three-legged, inhale. Exhale, step into crescent lunge. Remember, your back foot is going to tell you the story. It's very much, something to be consistently aware of. How does neutral actually feel to you? Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the left. Breathe in length. Length between the crown of your head and your hips. Look down. And step your right foot to meet your left, twisted chair. And squeeze the insteps of your feet together. It's like your right elbow is pressing into your left leg, but if your elbow is the only thing pressing to the right, all right, then could you maybe be doing more work? Yeah, you can press your left foot into your right foot, and you can press your right foot right back into your left. Sit deeper. Breathe in, chair, rise to the center. Forward fold over your legs, breathe out. Half lift, inhale. Crow pose, plant your hands to the ground. Plant your elbows to your knees. Look forward, rock your weight forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog is your inhale. Downward facing dog is your breath out. Three-legged dog, lift your right leg up. Exhale, cheetah, pull in, knee to nose. Crescent lunge, step forward, rise to stand. Inhale. Pull your hands into your heart, warrior three, fly forward to balance on your right leg. Dial your left pinky toe straight down. Drop the front of your left hip straight down more. Bend your right knee and feel stable the pressure between your big toe on the right side and the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pyramid pose. Put your left foot down, lift both arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Grab back here with your hands, both hands, and pull forward. Yeah. Bend your right knee, crawl your hands out in front of you, lift your left leg up for a standing split. Make sure you have enough space at the top of your mat to plant your hands onto your mat. All right. Then make about 6 inches of space between your right foot and your hands. Bend your right knee to get your hands flat on the ground. Lift up onto the ball of your right foot. All right. Lift higher onto the ball of your right foot. And get your left leg somewhere straight. And then, Lori, move away from the wall. All right, find your balance. Can opener shape in your handstand. All right, just get your hips high up over your shoulders. High up over your shoulders. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. Make sure if you start to get up, pull your knee into your chest. Knee into chest. Kick your left leg up straighter. Press your hands down harder. I don't know if I can do it because my finger is pretty messed up, but I think I can, so I'll try. I'll take off with this leg really low so that you can see that you don't have to have your leg up high. All you need is that this needs to be turned way down, so your toes need to be turned way down, and you need to be able to get your hips over your shoulders, okay? So my leg's pretty low. It's not even at a standing split. It's more like an L shape, okay? Breathe in, lift up, pop up. Just kick your heel into your butt. And then notice I kind of land with a little bend in my elbows. In order to actually balance, I got to press like really, really hard. And if my legs start to go over, right, that's where you start to train your body to go into a back bend in your handstands, which means unless you are very strong, you're not going to be able to hold that. You're going to flop right over, okay? I happen to be from a strength background, not a flexi background, so my back doesn't flop into a back bend. But other people's in here definitely do, and that can cause some issues. So better safe than sorry, right? Only try to get your hips over your shoulders. One more time. Leg doesn't have to be high, it can be low. Just got to breathe in, hold it in. Heel into butt. Heel into butt. Knee into chest. And then your straight leg, straight, arm straight. Okay? One more time on the right. Good. Downward facing dog. Three-legged on the left side. Breathe in. Pull through. Cheetah, step into crescent. Inhale, lift up. Warrior 3, lean forward and fly. Your right foot's telling you the story right now. All right, if you go up trying to handstand with a cockeyed leg, you're going to go cockeyed and you're not going to balance. So this is where you get to practice neutral. Inhale, pyramid pose, land back. Lift your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, stretch your hamstrings. You stretch your hamstrings when you want to go upside down because it makes it easier to stack your hips over your shoulders. All right, so you do what you got to do to get the maximum length in your spine and your hamstrings. Bend, curl. And because you have long arms, what we're going to do is I'm going to move this block to here. I'm going to have you grab back here, pull in, and pull yourself down into a spiral. Breathe into the length of your spine. Breathe into the engagement in your outer hips. Breathe into the squareness of your hips. And breathe out, soften your left knee, lift your right leg up. And pop yourself into a standing split that is the foundation of jumping into a handstand from here. You want your hands and your feet close because that means it takes a lot less effort to get your hips over your shoulders. Nancy, that looks nice. All right, ready, set, go. 1 Mississippi. Oh, Lori, good job. 2 Mississippi. That's all you. Good. Good. Now it's just your breath, Lori. Good. All right, come on down, take a breather. Now I'm going to tell you this because there are a lot of people that are getting close to where Lori is, where she's up, she's inhaled. There's definitely a moment of hang time there. All right. What do I tell you? What's the most consistent thing that I tell you all through class? Breathe. Exactly, right? So when you're getting up to that point, it's an 80-20 breath. And what do I mean? I mean, you're popping up and you're holding your breath in until you start to feel the float. Until you start to feel your hands over, your hips over your shoulders. So you're inhaled that whole time, all right? When you start to get that balance point, in order to negotiate the balance, you got to soften a little bit. You let 20% out. Inhale, hold it, feel the balance, 20% out. Okay, negotiate, press harder, breathe in, stiffen it back up. So pick your best leg and give me 3 more with that in mind. Hold in until you're upside down. Exhale 20% if you start to feel a little float. And then breathe in the rest of the 20% again and see if you can catch your balance for any longer. Ah, good, Jim. Ah, Christy, well done. Peggy, yes, Peggy. You okay? Okay. All right. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Roll forward, plank pose. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Push up enough to thread your left arm to the right underneath your chest. Then drop your right arm by your hip with your palm face up. Let your right shoulder drop down to the ground. If you need to prop your chest up so that there's more space underneath you to lay down, or your head up, either is fine. Specifically, if there's a big gap between your right shoulder and the ground, you might want to do that. Just let your head relax, your chin relax. You can either let it go straight down to the ground. You can look to the right for a little bit less intensity, and you can look to the left for a little more intensity. Breathe into your back body. Hold it in. Open up, sigh out. Switch out your arms. Come back to experience. A full class, no music, just you, the poses, and your breath. Breathe in, hold it in, sip in a little more. Open your mouth, sigh out. Roll to your right and all the way onto your back. Waterfall. And take a block and stick it underneath your hips and stick both legs upright. Your legs over your heart, your hips higher than your heart, and all the big energy of your hips moving around all class, right side, upside down side. Let that prana flow. Let go of clinging. Let go of clinging to the energy in your hips and let it flow back through you, back into the experience of merely being in a simple pose with your breath. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock up enough that you can remove your block and put it to the side. Roll back onto your spine, one vertebra at a time. Supta Baddha Konasana. Plant your feet together and your knees out wide. I would stay like this for my Shavasana if it was me, but you're welcome to take a breath or two here and then slide the rest of the way into a full traditional Shavasana if you desire. That's totally fine. And then just be completely raw in sensation, in the experience of this moment, and relax. Imagine the first clap of thunder and how the sky heard it by letting it move through its blueness to reach the earth. Imagine the first rain and how differently the mountains heard it with their stone and the beaches heard it through their sand. Imagine how the sea listened to the rain by receiving it. Imagine the first birds driven to sing when hearing light. Imagine the first howl of the first wolf and how the moon heard that so far away. Imagine the first dream of the first weary traveler sleeping in a cave and how that cave absorbed the dream. Experience. It's all about experience. And in quantum physics, it is said that we go inside enough, nothing is solid or separate, but fluid and unified, not particle, but wave. Go inside and listen enough, and the identity we call the self doesn't fall apart, but reveals the waves of life that hold everything together. We are all unified by these essential waves of spirit and nature that are the lifeblood of all things. The point in life is to know what's enough. With the happiness held in 1 square inch of our heart, you can fill the whole space between heaven and earth. Experience your breath. Come back to the level of consciousness. Breathe in. And start to wake yourself up. Come upright to a seat. Lift your arms up, upright overhead. Inhale. Open up, sigh out. Pull your hands to heart center. Your dream, your experience. Share it with everyone through the connection within you. 1 Om together. Fill up. Go inside deep enough, and we are all connected. We are all connected through our experience. And experience one another, to be for one another. Connect to your spirit, yogis. Namaste.